It's the Two Tired Dudes podcast, starring Mindful Pig and JW. And let's get on with the show.
After you leave the game, right after
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
you keep
Whatever.
everything.
Okay.
Unless you die, then
So
you've lost everything in your run.
No. So like when I say I complete a run and then I decide and I keep all the shit that I found and then I decide to play again and I die, do I lose all that shit or do I
Yeah.
still keep it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
But you could put
Anytime
it in
you
a
die
vault.
with something, you lose it. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Everything you gather, you put it in like your vault, which is a sort of storage. So that's keepable, but you want to use it too, right? You're not just gonna collect stuff in your vault.
Does it have a limit? I forgot to ask you, JW, the vault. Like, can you fill it? Or is it endless?
Yeah. There's obviously a limit, and
Oh.
through the upgrades, you can expand that limit. So.
Okay, cool. Okay. Alrighty then. Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. Mindful Pig here, joined of course with Hunting and JW. And then we're going to be redoing the podcast episode of Marathon. This will be the last redo, hopefully, of the year. Which is okay because, like I was telling JW, I actually had a chance to play it more and have a really good experience just last week playing the game where it kind of gave me the idea that maybe other people might be similar to me and just not realize all the cool little features that Marathon offers. That kind of changed the whole game experience. I will definitely say though, I do get it now. If you're gonna play this game solo, it's probably not gonna be as much fun. I highly recommend doing the trio because that was
I have great fun in solo, personally.
Hey! Shut up!
yeah. I'm just saying, like for the common man out there, you might enjoy it more as a trio. So far, I haven't really played with someone where I was like, "Oh, this guy's a dick." Like everyone's been like pretty chill and understanding, and just helping you go upon that journey with the game. But yeah. First and foremost, I'm sorry, there is the Spider-Man podcast that is now up and running. By the time you watch this, it's probably been up for about 2 weeks. So I wasn't able to premiere it on Saturday, but I did just premiere it before I went to church. So that one's live and running. I highly recommend checking it out. We had some really good conversation with 2099, who was the host. Thank you for doing that. And yeah, it was really good going through all the movies, and it just got me excited for a brand new day. So Hunting, you've been on a while, buddy. What have you been up to? What is your recap of the week?
Oh shit. So right now I've been going back and forth to the comic book store because I just bought first appearance of Scarecrow. And I went back, I think the next day or the day after that, and I got Batman number 251, the one with the Joker on it, Batman's on the playing card. Both expensive comic books, but worth it. Grabbed a couple of figures. I grabbed the book for myself. I grabbed Arkham Asylum Living Hell Deluxe Edition. It's basically the graphic novel instead of the issues. I'm still going to collect the issues, because why not? So basically, Living Hell is a prequel to Arkham Asylum, the video game. It takes place way before the events. I was reading through it. I was kind of surprised when I saw Etrigan, the demon. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. 'Cause I was just watching Brave and the Bold last night because I couldn't sleep because I was still kind of sick. Yeah. Then I started watching Boardwalk Empire again. Really good show.
Yeah, it's a good show, yeah.
I do like the like 1920s gangsters and shit. I do like that overall atmosphere, style.
What's cool with Boardwalk Empire too is that I find they don't because a lot of those movies that is from that time sort of romanticize the gangster stuff and all that, a bit like the Untouchables, right? And
Yeah, it's Untouchables.
and
yeah.
I find Boardwalk Empire is has this really realistic take to it compared to all of those things, or like Gangster Squad and all that. So it's an interesting take with a really good actor, Steve Buscemi.
do like Al Capone, like how like they kind of like tell his story a little bit, how he got where he was now, how he
Yeah.
became like the boss. But yeah, what else? I started playing Batman again. Arkham City. It was fun. The Riddler trophies are kind of like a pain in the ass. I don't. It's not like I don't hate doing them. It's just like it's kind of annoying because I just want to
Well,
play
there's
the
a lot
game. I
of
don't want
them.
to. Yeah, it just gets like really annoying because I just want to play the game. I don't want to have to like run around looking for it, or I don't want to spend a certain amount of time on a certain puzzle. I mean, I end up doing it, but I don't want to spend up a certain time because I do want to play the game. So I'm trying to do the Victor Zaz side mission, Dial Z, I think it's called. I do like Victor Zaz as a Batman villain. He's like maybe like my top 10, top 10.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting.
Because he was supposed to be an Arkham Knight, but he was cut. I mean, you do see him like a glimpse when you're looking for Batgirl, not Batgirl, Oracle. And there was a
Yeah.
whole like side mission that was cut because you do find a helicopter. Oh, you do find a crashed helicopter somewhere above the GCPD. And there's like Riddler. There's a riddle that's a reference to him because he would, after he would kill people, he would like pose them in different like poses and shit. Them doing like certain things, like in Arkham Asylum, you can find a bunch of like dead guards playing poker. Or in Arkham Knight, you can find someone fishing, one of the thugs fishing, which is kind of stupid. It's fucked up, but it's kind of funny.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Uh, right now, I just got back into Mortal Kombat. 'Cause why the fuck not? Because I don't have the new Xbox yet, so I can't play the new one. So I've been playing the older ones. Recently, I got back into Mortal Kombat X. I might stop. I might get bored after like maybe like 5 minutes, but I'll maybe play. I'll give it a chance.
I always thought I always thought that and was really good, and
Yeah, the story was good. Yeah.
yeah, everything about it was like really really good. Then for me, it sort of falls off a bit, starting from 11, and I just didn't play one.
Yeah, I heard one like it was just kind of like rushed. I mean, the main story was great. It's just like the guest characters were just like they were just there to keep the game from dying. I know. I think it was Peacemaker. I think it was Peacemaker because I guess everyone started buying the DLCs, and that kind of kept the game alive. And then when the second campaign came out, it kind of like went down from there because they were doing like this multiverse thing, and a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people thought it was rushed. It could have been so much better. They
Oh,
could
it's
have done
also
Havoc.
it's also a bit uninspired, really.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna
Like
write something about the multiverse, at least like be smart about it. Don't be lazy. Just like or just don't do it, or just or you could do it, but don't use it all the time. Do it here
yeah,
and there. So what were you saying? Back to what you were saying.
How
I
was
just said yeah.
how was the
No, you say we were about
the
to say something else before I interrupted you.
I don't think so.
I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
ask
I wasn't
how
sure.
was the first appearance of Scarecrow though, the comic?
It's graded, so I can't really read it. It's in the plastic, the CGC.
I get you. Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
curious what his first appearance would be like.
yeah. His whole thing was based off what's his face, Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. That was his nickname. That's how we.
Oh.
Yeah, that's because he used to get picked on when he was younger because everyone said Ichabod. Everyone would mock him and call him Ichabod Crane because his last name was his last name was Crane,
Yeah,
so
that's
everyone would
right.
just mock him.
Oh, that's
Yeah, everyone would
cool.
just mock him. Yeah,
Yeah, I like
so
him as a
everyone would just
villain.
mock him.
Like even
He's
in
a good
the
villain. I do.
animated series, the classic Batman
Yeah,
one, he was so cool in that one too.
especially when they redid him in the new Adventures of Batman. They made him a little bit scarier.
Yeah, yeah, they did a
Pretty
good
cool.
job of him in that one. Yeah, he's a good like dark villain for Batman.
Yeah, I liked him
Um,
in the Long Halloween, the animated movie.
I don't know if I see that one. I'll have to find that.
No, it's on HBO. It used to be on HBO Max, but you might find it on Blu-ray. It's 2 parts, which I find so stupid. I don't know, like why not sell both parts? I don't know. I don't get it. It's fine.
No, I
It's not a big
agree.
deal.
You
I
make
don't,
more money.
yeah. Yeah, it's
As-
true too.
I was gonna ask you, Hunting. Are you planning on getting like the newer Xbox at one point? I know you like said it a few
Yes.
times.
When I
Oh,
save
okay.
my money, I know I keep saying I just need to save my money.
No, it's fair enough.
My
I get it.
money's
It's expensive
yeah.
as shit. And it just keeps
Because I
getting
gotta
more
buy a new
expensive.
TV too, so I gotta worry about that. That's gonna be like maybe like if I depending because I went to Best Buy and I was looking at TVs with my dad and the open box TVs were kind of like expensive. So new TV plus a new Xbox is gonna be around almost like $2,000.
Yeah, I forgot you
So
have to have a newer TV for that shit. That's right.
yeah, thank God I was on Reddit. That's how I found out. Somebody thought their Xbox was all fucked up, and then they found out it was just a TV. They needed a new
Speaking of
TV.
new TVs, fuck new TVs, man. Like I've gotten a new TV. It's like an intelligent TV apparently, but it's so fucking stupid. I I hate it. Well, not that I hate the new TV, but like I hate that now it's like an OS and like how they're made, and they're all made like that, and like so complicated for nothing sometimes. Of like just
Uh,
switching um between HDMI, between inputs, between whatever, and well, it's loading. Like, what the fuck are you loading? You're just switching. Go, and
I know what you mean. Yeah,
Like it's not just a button
it's
anymore,
complicated for no
JW?
reason.
oh yeah, it is a button. It's just now you have all sorts of settings and all sorts of bullshit.
It's like
And
all complicated now.
Oh.
It used to be so fucking easy. Now it's like it's you had to do like steps, like a steps to an Easter egg, like you're doing a fucking zombies Easter egg now. You got to do like
yeah,
fucking 15, 20 things just to get one thing to work.
I'm not even sure how old
yeah.
mine is.
My TV was kind
It
of
depends.
wasn't
Do you
complicated, kind
still
of easy.
have? Do you still have red, yellow, and white cables
Yeah,
slots
I
yeah,
for
I do.
your?
I do
I
have
do
that.
on
And
mine. I
HDMI
think I do.
ports.
Yeah, I had
Then
that.
it's very old. You all have old TVs because new TVs
Mine's
don't
an
have that
Mine's a
anymore.
smart TV. Mine's an Insignia Fire Stick TV.
See,
Don't know what TV I want to get. Actually, I think I want to get Samsung.
see, that's weird then, because like I
I
have the
thought
newer Xbox, right? And I don't have any issues on my TV. At least I don't notice anything.
it says you. It. I read somewhere on the Reddit post. It says you had to have like 60 HZ on the TV. It can't be 120 HZ. HZ is the picture refresh speed.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I do have that then. But yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
have any problems in that department, but it's more in the sense of like the setup and oh, you now have multiple sections. You now have your home, you have like your game section, you have like there are ads for
Oh,
movies,
yeah.
and it's like just let me just I just want to have a place to plug my PlayStation. Like
Yeah.
fuck off. Like
Yeah, that's how my mom's TV is. Okay, I get what you mean.
just just to give you an example, so I can do a shortcut for my PS5 on my for my homepage on the TV.
Okay.
But if sometimes there's like a problem or whatever, and so you like unplug the TV and replug it, right? If I unplug the HDMI, the shortcut doesn't exist anymore. I have to re re re-put the shortcut of the PS5 on my home screen. And for that, I need to go into my game section, then hold click the thing, add shortcut, and it's back. So it's
Wow.
fucking annoying.
Yeah, that's really
So
stupid.
sometimes I would unplug so I can plug my computer and watch, other stuff or play other stuff or whatever through my laptop. But now it's causing problems because it removes the shortcut for whatever reason. Anyway, it's stupid bullshit like that I hate with new TVs.
Yeah, that
It
is really
used to be
stupid.
simple.
Um, okay, well, speaking of which, what have you been up to, Mr. JW? What have you been playing? What have you been watching?
A lot of stuff. I've seen The Odyssey. It's good. It's not, the second coming of Christ like everybody has been saying.
Yeah.
Everybody is saying it's like the greatest film ever. It's the greatest of Nolan. Not at all. It's even, I would say, it's almost, it's going to sound weird, but if you've seen the movie, it's going to make sense. It's like a worse version of Oppenheimer. And Oppenheimer is really good. I love it. It's one of his best, but like it's a worse version of that. And it has like, it's weird. It has like the most Nolan stuff. Like it's so much Nolan that if you've seen his other film, you'll just go, "Oh, he took that from his other film," you know. So I don't know. For me, it's just it's a good movie. It's the most Nolan film out of all of them, and it's not his best, but it was still worth the watch. It's not bad in any means. It's pretty good. There are some weird casting choices, and yeah, no, I don't necessarily mean the race debate and all that. There's that too that is weird, but beside that, there are some weird casting choices in the
Yeah, like
sense of.
what's her face? Elliot Page, which I thought was
Oh,
a joke.
actually, it's really, for me, that was the least problematic casting.
Really?
He was actually really good. Yeah, I mean he's there like three
Surprised.
minutes and he's there like 3 to 10 minutes in the film. Like he's not that long, but like he was really good at the scenes he had to do. No, for me, there was no problem there. No, there. I think there was Travis Scott in the film or something.
What?
Someone
What the
like that.
hell?
Travis Scott. What the fuck?
I'm not sure. It sounded like him, so that's why I say I'm not sure. But there's like someone that like bangs on with a baton or something on the table like 2 times in the film, and he looks like an out of place extra, like he's on the wrong movie set, just in
No,
the way
like he walked in when they were filming, and he wasn't supposed
maybe
to
I
be
don't
there. He
know,
was
but
supposed to
it's
be in the
like
back. Like he didn't know what the
it's
fuck to
out of
do.
place. It's out of place. He even sounds out of place compared to other characters, and
Weird.
You're right, JW. I just looked it
yeah.
up. He does. He is in the Odyssey. He plays the bard.
Oh, I
What?
think that's him.
Why?
I don't know. He's in everything. He's fucking annoying.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's
Why? Because his
interesting.
point
actor's not
being,
doing anything, so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna become an actor." They
point
make it look so
being
fucking
that
easy. Because back then it used to be so hard to become an actor. Now it's like everyone's a fucking actor. Yeah, like the guy next door is a fucking actor. The guy across the street is an actor.
point being, he was a weird one. But there are other casting choices where it seems weird at first, but they were actually so good that it didn't bother. For example, what's his name? Um, there's like an Hispanic actor, a really well-known Hispanic actor, um, where he plays like this old blind man, and he was really good in this. Like he really surprised me. Um, with I have his name right here, John Leguizamo. Yeah,
John
John
Leguizamo, yeah,
Leguizamo.
good
Yeah, he's
actor.
in it, and he's really really good. Um, there's an Indian guy that is like the second in command of Matt Damon. He was really good too. So sometimes acting, like sometimes casting choices seem weird. Then you're watching the movie and they're like really good for the role. But there's other times like the one I just mentioned where it's just weird and fucked up. Like he sounded wrong. He looked wrong. Everything was just wrong. It really pulled me out of the movie. And he was there for 5 seconds. So, but anyway, so the weird choices, but overall still a good movie.
That's a
Um,
crazy cast list too. I was just looking at it all. There's like a lot of big celebrities in that one. Wow.
yeah, and I find now we would get into spoiler territory, but I find the ending doesn't work anymore with the changes that Nolan did, because the way he did this movie is to make it a bit more modern in its themes and all that. So uh, Odysseus is a bit more regretful of the Troy War and all that, but so this changes a bit. It sort of clashes with the ending of the film, which is weird. But anyway, so a lot of weird stuff, but overall still a good movie. More a movie that I ended up loving and I was not expecting to was Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I've watched that one. We're going to do a podcast, so I won't stick too long on this. But it's like the best Spider-Man I've seen since Tobey Maguire. Like the Tobey Maguire 1 and 2 are still my favorite Spider-Man, but like this one is the third, like the my third best Spider-Man, I would say. Best of all the Andrew Garfield, of all the Tom Hollands. It was just really, really good and surprising with all the characters they have. There's a couple of things that bothered me, but we will talk about it on the podcast because it's a spoiler and all that. So all this to say, really, really good. That I highly recommend. Anybody should go see it at the cinema. It's definitely worth it. Um, so that's what I watch. I've been playing Beast of Reincarnation, which so far so good. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's really cool. It's really fun so far. But like I'm just at the start, so it remains to be seen. I've had frame rate problems, so I think they have a couple of. I can see why people are a bit disappointed. It's a bit of a janky game. It feels like a PS3 game in how it's made and all that.
And you got to play
So I've done a
after
bit of
patch, right?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
and there's still frame rate problems, but it's not that bad. It's sometime unstable, but it hasn't been like unplayable, right? But I would recommend anybody to play it on performance mode because on cinematic it's pretty jarring the frame rate. So I would recommend performance. But yeah, otherwise, like I haven't had game breaking stuff or anything. Well, yeah, it's really fun. It's pretty original too in how it works so far. So I've been having a blast. My wife has been loving it also. Um, Remains to be seen for the writing and all that because the story is a bit um, uh, like it's not chronological. You see parts here and there of the past, then you come back to the present, and you're sort of discovering the story as you go along. It's not straightforward. So, for example, it starts you off, and immediately you're like in a action scene where everything is blowing up. You're a girl with a katana. There's this ghost lady talking to you, and there's a guy talking to you through a headphone. So from the start, they just throw you in. So it might be jarring for some at first, but um, yeah. So I've been searching to know why this game is like so janky, and Game Freaks are the people making this, so the people that make Pokemon games for Nintendo. And even though they make Pokemon games, they're not a big company. They're like 200 people, and so that's like more in the double A category than triple A. They can get triple A. So I'm not sure. I think they get triple A budget because of Nintendo and all that. Like they get support, but they're not that big of a team. So I'm sort of I don't know. I don't know how they work. It's a bit jarring, honestly. I'm not sure how they operate, but I thought that was interesting and it explains a bit why it has that sort of more double A feel to it, and it's a bit more janky and all that.
I'm curious too, like why now they're making a different game. After like whatever it is, 20 or 30 years of Pokemon.
Well, they said that they needed to do a new game because they would go mad with Pokemon. So this is very much a game they wanted to do.
Okay.
And I think Pokemon is just what gives them money, right?
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough.
What is it? Game Freak that's been doing this for 20 years of Pokemon?
Yeah, because since Pokemon Blue, right, it's been Game Freak. So
Oh, I didn't even know. Wow. Okay.
that's like
Yeah, you're right.
that's what I'm saying. I'm
And
surprised
before
after so many decades, right? They're like, you know what? That's it.
before Pokemon, they made Mendel Palace, Smart Ball, Yoshi, Magical, Tarotu Kun,
Oh
Mario and
wow,
Wario, Nuntan and Toiso, Kuru Kuru Puzzle, Pulseman, and then it's just Pokemon.
that's interesting.
It's
Okay,
just
so they did do things
Pokemon.
before Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just Pokemon from 1996 to now. Oh, that's not true. In 2019, they did Giga, Wreck Alt, and Little Town Hero, but otherwise, it's just been Pokemon. That's
Wow.
insane. Oh
Yeah.
my god. 2023, there was no Pokemon, but there was the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero and Pocket Card Jockey Right On. And in 2025 Mega Dimension, oh, there's a Pokemon game right here. So yeah, no. So they like to do, games that interest them here and there, but Pokemon is what brings the money probably. But yeah, no, they literally said word. I don't know if it's word for word, but that's what they literally said. Like they just had to take a break for Pokemon and you know do something else.
Oh, I don't blame them. It's like the same, cookie cutter formula over and over again.
Yeah, and so Beast of Reincarnation, if you don't know, it's like an action RPG, I guess I would say, where you're a girl with no emotion and with a katana, but with skill, with some magical skills linked to nature. So you do, that's the cool part actually. You do vines where you can use in your traversal. So you can do a vine that push you up into the air and you can go really, really up and really, really, high and get to places that you normally wouldn't be able to or attack someone from the air, you know? And there's otherwise there are other types of vine that you can like do a bridge to cross across to go across, use it for that, so vines and flowers and all that is a really big part of the game and how to use them. There's like a dog, well, a giant wolf that accompanies you and helps you in battle also. It's like a mix between Nier and Princess Mononoke, which is pretty cool. And like so far so good. I've seen a lot of hate and even scale up saying like I do not recommend this game and it's the easiest do not recommend I've had to do, which I find so far to be like really really mean spirited. I would say like it's not that it's really not, is not that bad. Like it's really fun. It is janky. It has like weird design choices, but it's still an incredibly fun game. So
I
I
mean, it
guess
could
we'll
just be
see once
that,
I
right?
finish it. Maybe it gets repetitive. That's possible. So we'll see once I finish the game. But I'm sort of baffled by it. Like I understand someone saying, "Yeah, no, it's a bit mid or whatever." That I understand someone saying that, but going so far as to say "do not recommend" and hating it is baffling to me.
I feel like Game Freak goes through that a lot, though, especially like with their Pokemon games. There's been quite a few, right, that'll come out and people go like, "Oh, this is crap. It's broken. I expected so much better." Like I don't know. There's just that weird mindset with Game Freak and people reviewing their games.
Well, to be fair, like I said, it doesn't look like a PS5 game. Like it really
Yeah.
looks and feels like a PS3 game. And people have said Pokemon games from them are like PS2 games. And when I say this, I don't mean like in a nostalgia kind of way. In a as much the good as the bad from that era. So yeah, they seem to have problem with delivering quality, top-notch quality products in general. But like I said, I don't think people realize that they are a small team, a smaller team than a AAA team.
Oh,
They are
for
more
sure.
like a double A team and
That
have like
was
this weird startup mentality or whatever. So
I was really
uh,
surprised by the 200 people only. I thought their team was a lot bigger than that.
well, me too, because I thought they're part of Nintendo or something, but no, it's a private company that has really good relationship with Nintendo. They're not owned by Nintendo,
Wow, that's
so
cool.
like it's a weird company. Like I'm, but and I don't think people realize that because they think probably that they're owned by Nintendo, right?
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah, actually a fun one to go over for a podcast episode. I didn't realize they were kind of such a
Oh,
unique company.
oh, for sure. It'd be interesting to see their game and all that, but I don't want to play Pokemon, so
No, no,
it
no.
won't happen. But if you want to do one about Beast of Reincarnation, I don't mind at all.
Yeah, we'll look at that one. Sorry, buddy. What else are you
So
playing?
I think that's. I mean, I've been, of course, playing Marvel Rivals. The new season is great. I love it. Um, I'm really back into it. Been playing a lot. the new heroes, Jubilee and the Hood, are really good also. Like the tank is a bit OP. I would even say he's like as much a good DPS as tank. So, and he is supposed to be a tank. Um, so yeah, no. So have a lot of fun there, and of course I've been playing Marathon also, which I still love and just play for the fun of it, despite like I have missions, but I don't really care about them. I mostly do the gameplay. What about you, Mindful?
Um, yeah. What have I played this week? I did a little more Black Flag. That's right. So I wrapped up another area of the map. Um, kind of slowly falling off that Digimon mobile game because it's very repetitive after a while. So it's not the
Oh,
best.
I'm surprised.
Like I like the Digimon. I like evolving them and seeing those next forms and all that. But yeah, I mean like once you've done the majority of it, it's just a very slow and boring grind. There's not very really good end game stuff. Um, I played a little bit of Naruto one day because I was just, I don't know, I was craving the 360 and I just saw Naruto, so I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot. It was fun. It's a little story-based game. After the Chunin exams there, it takes place. Um, Movie-wise, I haven't really watched anything that stood out. I rewatched the Jimmy Neutron movie for the fuck of it. Um,
There are so many good things you could watch. Why would you watch that?
It's because, like half the time I have to agree with Cheyenne on something too, right? So it's whatever she's in the mood for, and she's like never in the mood for superheroes, which is why I kind of just watch them, when I get like a moment to myself or whatever. Um,
Right.
yeah. So just yeah, most of the time she'll just be like, "Do you want to watch Shrek or do you want to watch this?" And it's just like, "Well, I guess we'll watch Shrek for the 500th time."
Yeah,
um,
Shrek is a really good movie though.
yeah, that's their like staple movie. Um, Yeah, yeah, not too much actually this time around that the pig's been up to. Um, like I was saying earlier, I thought that this episode, since we're redoing it, would be kind of cool to go over Marathon. And actually, Neo being here is like an excellent timing. I can't think of a better word right now. Because the idea of this is, to kind of list some features, some mechanics and stuff that maybe a new player actually would find interesting. So it'd be cool to hear at the end if Neo would actually like consider Marathon. Not saying you have to buy it, I'm just saying if you'd actually like, be more interested in playing it this time around than you were at the beginning of the podcast. So
Alright.
JW knows quite a bit of this, so my dude's got his game open right now, so he can go over things properly. And then just every now and then I'm just gonna fire out something that I thought was a cool mechanic, or give some experience with the game into it. But yeah, JW, if you don't mind, buddy, would you mind redoing your little intro there of Marathon and exactly what the game is?
Sure. It might not be the same as last time. I don't even remember what I said last time, but I'll do a new one. A remix, let's say. So, what is Marathon? Marathon is a Bungie game, the people that made Destiny 2 and the original good Halos. And they've made Marathon an extraction shooter. I mean, previously they did make Marathon the boomer shooters. It's an existing IP of them, so they reused that IP to expand that universe with the runners, which are people that are put into cybernetic bodies to do missions for corporations. So they're like hired mercenaries in a sort of way. So like that, the companies are they make them do their dirty work, so they're not accountable, and runners can just die repeatedly and come back. And I mean, I could go deeper into the lore and how it affects them psychologically and all that, which is really interesting, but I won't because you don't care. You're here for the game. Um, so, so runners are sent on Tau City to to know what happened to the Marathon crew, because the Marathon is a ship that sent humans to colonize Tau City, which are planets, and they have lost contact with it for like years. Then they received a signal like a couple of 100 years later. So now they've sent people to know what's going on. So the USEC is like the United Planets or whatever, the United Human
United Earth Space
Police, if you
Council.
want. Yeah, whatever. It's the United Police of Earth, right? And so they've locked down the place with bots and all sorts of that. So these will be it's a PvPvE extraction shooter. So these will be the NPC threats, right? And so they have locked down the place because they have stuff to hide. And as runners, you do missions for different corporations that all have their own motive as to why they want information and what happened on Marathon. They will all act as your friend, and as if they're doing this for the good of all mankind or the people or whatever. But as you come to realize, they're each self-interested assholes. For example, Sekiguchi is like a company that created the shells, which are the cybernetic bodies and all that, and they keep talking to you as if you're their son, right? And like going like, oh, you're poor thing, and just being there for you just before giving you a quest to like kill yourself, or I should say, you'll probably bleed that, but just to throw yourself off a building 50 times in order to test the shell durability, So they all have like their way of trying to manipulate you and not telling you whole truths, and so you can get lore inside the game and know more about the story by extracting with these items, right? So that's one of the aspects that I really like personally, the narrative and how everything just works and are linked, and like every game aspect works lore wise also, right? So that's something I really like, and that really interested me in. I didn't think, like, normally multiplayer games do not interest me narratively. I'm just here to play the game, but like this is one of the first multiplayer game where the narrative really interested me a lot, and that there's a lot of good information, right?
And that's like a common
Anyway,
theme I
so
found too, right? Like I haven't played with a lot of people, right? So maybe you'll have better thought on this, JW. But play with you, play with Riggs, play with that one guy I was talking about. Even a little bit I play with Jimmy. Everyone has the exact same like response to that. Is that the narrative, the story of the game is just so interesting, and that's one of their like big features that they highlight, right? That they enjoy about the game. So I mean, it does speak pretty good for a multiplayer game. That yeah, it still had a really cool story to go with it.
yeah, because the way that they make it part of your gameplay is that's part of the stuff you can extract. You will raid a lock, or a safe or something, and then you'll have something like an, I don't know, AI papers by Strauss or whatever, and then you're like, oh, what the hell is that? And it's a purple thing, like it's worth a lot. So
Yeah.
you extract with it, you get the credits, and you get the lore items, so it has value. So now you go read it just for the fun of it, and you get engrossed into it. And it's not just notes to read. There's also recordings of logs. There's also they had a lot of fun doing those lore and mixing it up and all that. So
And that's really cool.
that's really interesting. Yeah. So like I previously mentioned, it's an extraction PvPvE shooter. It, so that means that you go in, there are players to you fight off, and there are NPC threats also. Like I mentioned, the USEC or whatever they're called. Um, and so you go into these maps, and you each have like your missions that you get from these corporations that I mentioned, which are also how you can buy items. They're also the armory, the vendors, right? And so you do missions for them, and unlock favors with them if you complete their mission. So by completing their missions, you get, better upgrades. For example, earlier Mindful Pig was asking me about the vault. You have like a vault where anything you extract, you can, put it in there and you keep it in your vault as yours. It's a sort of storage. But he was asking me, is there like is the vault can be upgradable? Which yes, it can be if you do a couple of missions for um, Oni, which is the AI for Cyber Acme, the company security firm company. So this will give you upgrade to expand your vault. You'll be able to buy backpacks, which expands the amount of space you have for you to carry items in game, etc., etc. You have a bunch of stuff you can unlock, and even stats with them. For example, you get access to more bigger additional high value items in the vendor section, or a bunch of stuff like that. So
Yeah, I didn't realize, to be
you can
honest with you,
get
how important that actually was doing, like those contracts. Like, I mean, I know you kind of explained it, right? But like, as I play more, right? Like, I looked deeper, I guess, at that upgrade menu, and it's like, yeah, like I could see why you guys kept like enforcing that so much. Like, no, you need to keep doing this because you're gonna get some really great benefits.
yeah, and these upgrades, they require you to craft a bit, so you'll go in game, gather a couple of things like thorax seeds or you know whatever, so you can then unlock that upgrade also. So that's a bit how the progression works. But these quests, so you have like daily quests, but you also have story quests, which there's like a small cutscene where you interact with the AI that's giving you the missions. And that's where I say it's very telling that at first they seem trustworthy, and then as you progress, you sort of see that they have their own idea, and that they're sort of telling you half truths and or just complete lies, and et cetera, et cetera.
Some of them are
Um,
crazy. I was just looking up, like your self revive might not be consumed after, increasing your agility. Even things that boost the rook when they spawn in.
yeah. So
Yeah,
speaking
wow.
of Rook are like, if you've played Tarkov or any other of these type of games, it's a sort of scavenger, which is a sort of a character, I guess, that you can use to scavenge. You can bring in anything. It has like a preload kit, but and you join in the middle of the game, so you have like less good loot to begin with, but you might stumble upon something really good and extract with it, right? So it's a good way to make money when you keep losing your stuff, right? So if you're not out of choices if you have no more stuff in your vault. Because if you didn't know or realize that, is that anything that you loot, you can lose also, right? So if you die with the loot, you lose everything that is on you. And so that's where something like the Rook or free kits, which are like daily kits where it's sponsored kits where it's giving to you a chance to go in without losing anything, becomes important if you have an empty vault. Um,
Yeah, I like that
so
one. It's
with that
cool.
being said, every care like so the Rook is like this its own thing, preloaded kit and all that. But as um, as the normal characters, they all it's a bit like a hero shooter where you have multiple shells, you have multiple style of character that you can equip before a game, so we can go through them. They all have their own thing, but what I like mostly is that it's not like there's an OP shell, or that this shell counters this other shell, and it's specifically used for that. They all have their pros and cons, and it's more like extra tools for your character than power that changes the game, right? Like the loot is still more important than the characters and skills, right? So, for example, there's the destroyer where he has a shield, a riot barricade that he can run with. He also can throw missiles as his alt. So like these are like usable. These are like active skills, right? And but there's also like more passive stuff. For example, again with the destroyer, where if you he's the only shell where if you double press the sprint button, he has jets on his legs that propels him to go even faster or even move in the air in a dash, right? So that's pretty cool and useful. There's the Vandal, where she's more of a movement-based character, where she has a cannon in her arm that propels player off. It really pushes them off, and it can break their shields depending on how powerful you hold it. Because you can, the more you hold the cannon, the stronger it gets, right? But most importantly, her best part of her kits is that she has like double jumps. She has power slides, which permits her to slide really far. Because all characters can slide, but none can slide like her. Like she can go really fast, go really far, and she can have like infinite heat, or I should say sprint or whatever. Because basically, there's a heat system, right? Where it's a bit like a stamina, but in reverse. So your actions, like jumping and running and all that, creates heat. And with time, as you progress, you can expand that bar, and you can upgrade and your character and all that, right?
See, I feel
But
like I'm so
there's all
dumb. Like, I
sorts
feel
of
like when you're picking them, they don't show you like a lot, or maybe I'm just not reading it properly. That could be too. But I was just looking at the list of shells that as you're talking about them. And yeah, there's so many features I didn't realize they had as characters, or sorry, classes.
oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say, because a lot of them, have active abilities, but some have more passive abilities, like, for example, the Recon shell, where Recon, what people most know about that shell is that he has a skill where he can do Echo Pulse, where it just a wave of like radar that goes around him for, I don't know, I don't remember the distance, but basically it can ping enemies around him. And so it's a very useful one. There's like a tracker drone that he can throw, and it's like a spider mine that runs towards an enemy and explodes. But so that's what people really knows Recon. But what they mostly forget is the passive traits of Recon, where if Recon is pinged by someone, he will know. Like he will get a notification that he's been pinged.
That's
So
cool.
anybody from no matter the distance, if you ping a recon, they will know that someone is around and is being pinging them, right? They'll know. And a second trait they have is that after breaking a target's shield, well, they can see a sort of trail of where the people ran off. They sort of see this
Oh,
like shield shards on the ground, and they can follow where the the enemy has run off if you break their shield, right?
that's super cool. Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay.
So there's a bunch of abilities like this that people don't realize, because you see the active ones, but most people will stick to a shell and not really explore the other ones, so they won't understand the passive. But there's like a lot of stuff for each, right?
Yeah, yeah,
For
that was
example, I
me. Like,
think
I kept staying with the medic one, but yeah, now looking at some of these, I was like, wow, some of these abilities are really cool, actually.
for example, the assassin, like anytime he's in smoke, his camo activates automatically. He's invisible in smokes, basically. So that's something people don't realize. They think it's only an active ability, and once it's done, that he has to wait for the cooldown. But no, he has various ways to go invisible. That's something I do appreciate with this game, is that the invisibility, the camo, is pretty good in the sense of it's not OP where you can't see you can't see the assassin anymore, like at all, and he can just murder you. But it's also not too visible. It's a really good in between, where you can sort of see a wobble, right? Then you sort of see something is wrong, but you're not sure where exactly, and you can have good deduction of where this person is, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, so like we just named 4 shells, but there's like 3 others, and they all have like really cool stuff. For example, like the Sentinel that can put um, snare mines and something to stop grenades and stuff like that. Or the thief that can send a drone and steal stuff from your backpack, right? So there's
Yeah,
all
I was
sorts
just
of
looking at that. The X-ray
weird
vision.
stuff.
It lets you loot containers and enemies through walls. That's so cool.
Yeah, so the X-ray vision of the thief is that you can see it doesn't have that big of a range, so you need to be close, but it can
Oh,
see the colors of the loot. So they can see which
wow.
one is worth more. Oh, this chest is purple. I'm gonna go loot that one instead of the green one, right? Or you look at someone and you can see they're purple. Okay, they have really good loot on them. So stuff like that.
That's cool. Okay.
It it also some the thief is also really good um, because of this passive right here that a lot of people don't know, but it gain increased weapon handling and uh, an accelerated grapple device recharge rate. So that means better cooldown on your grapple because the thief has a grapple based on the number of items on your backpack. So if you're full, your cooldown are shorter and your weapon handling, so which is I guess um,
The knife?
how easily you're manipulating a weapon
Oh, oh.
is like much better. So there's all sorts of stuff like that. So it's full of stats like this, but all of this can change because you have items that you can loot, which are cores, right? And so cores are sort of like they're shell based, or well, they're universal ones, but there are ones that are shell based specifically, where it sort of gives you um, more. So it sort of can change how your skills work, right? Um,
Well, I said because you have your character screen, right, and you're equipping things on there. There's different spots. That's what you're talking about, right?
yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
like we mentioned, there's loot. Your character can equip all sorts of stuff, weapons, shield, and there are various grades of shield. You have no shield, which is gray. You have green, and every upgrade like goes up by 2. So you have gray, no shield, which is 1. Then you have green, which is 2. Then it's blue 4 and purple 6 and gold 8. Like 8, not bars, but like sort of segments, right? Basically, there are grades to the shield, and as you progress, you get better stuff, right? And but in those, you have cores, which can change how your character is, your skills and all that. For example, there's one with the destroyer where it says after using your thruster, your melee damage is increased. So your thruster is when I was talking about the dash, so you can move in the air or you sprint and stuff like that. So that is really good. I know there is one for the vandal where your disrupt cannon doesn't do any damage anymore, but it propels you. So since it's a movement-based character, it really changes how you jump around, and you can really propel yourself very far. So there's really cool stuff like that that changes the way you play, right? I even think there's a marathon brought out recently a video about that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of different kinds here. Calling card disrupts cannon, also hacks target caught in the blast.
Yeah, so there's also one where when the cannon hits someone, it pings them, so you know that you got someone, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Um,
Wow.
there's all sorts of grenades and tools to help you, like the proximity sensors, pinging people that are close by.
Or this threat
And
assessment,
what
your
is
motion tracker shows the evolution of a detective target. So I guess like where they are on the building.
Yeah, and
That's
you have
cool.
multiple weapons, like kind of weapons, like you have like not just in the sense of AR and AK-47 or whatever. It's not those weapons. It's a sci-fi, so they have like their own version. But there's also like energy weapon, vault weapons. There are ballistic weapons. So they're being used differently, right? So vault weapons, it's more about overheating and replacing the battery. So you have generally more shooting capacity with those, right? For example. So there's a lot of stuff you can loot beside, the lore. There's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of cores. There's a lot of just a lot of items to find, right? Which brings me to the the maps, because even so, we're talking about variation, but even the maps, we're going like there's four maps, which seem small, but they all have like their own thing on them. They all have like their own thing going. For example, the first one that you'll be doing, perimeter, is fairly simple. It's a there's like four main section in the map, and there are all sorts of different quests. For example, calling out a cargo ship and raiding it. Um, what else? What else did we do? There's like key sections. Actually, each map have like a room with keys,
Yeah, that was told you
which
last
has
time, right?
better
I thought
loot.
that was a cool like mechanic in the game, like how the different combinations of the colored keys can like produce better loot in whatever the door you open up is.
Oh yeah,
Like,
because there's like blue, purple, and gold. I've never had a gold key, but I've had the other ones. And of course, the thing that's funny with the key rooms is that once you open them, it plays a little song just to make sure everybody on the map knows that
yeah,
you're doing a key room. So you better like loot quick and get out before the whole map comes for you.
that was one of
Uh,
our downfalls. I didn't realize like what he meant by that. He's like, "You gotta hurry up, you gotta hurry up." I was like, "Why? Like, let's just loot this. This is some good shit." And then we had the enemy teams showing up. I was like, "Oh crap!"
yeah, and depending of which key room you're like, if you're doing a blue, a purple, or a gold one, I think the music is different, so it even indicates which one is which. And yeah, so it is a pretty hard game. We'll say it out there. It has a steep learning curve, but it is amazingly fun. Like, I'm not the type of guy that usually likes games that are too hard. Like, I don't like any of the Souls, for example. Um, but I don't know. There's something with the difficulty here, which really speaks to me of um, going in a map, with almost nothing, or with your guns or whatever. Now you might say it's like a battle royale, but a battle royale is just about who survives until the end. Here, it's not exactly that. It's more you have starting on the 20-minute mark, because it's like 30-minute games if you do the whole game, but starting from the 20-minute mark, there are extraction places that you can start to, so you can extract and exit the level, so you don't have to stay the full 30 minutes. You can just get the stuff you want to do and get out, right? But the kill time and the way that you can um, ambush people makes the game really like harder. It makes it hard. And so there's a learning curve of like knowing these shells, of knowing the maps. Oh, if I go around, I can do this, right? Like, if you're a vandal, I know I can double jump over on the top and then go behind, right? For example, stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff to learn, and the tutorial doesn't really do a good job of showing you this. It's more like an introduction into the world, into the story. Like, it gives you the basic, but you really, there's a lot of stuff they don't tell you that they really should. Um,
Yeah, the maps are so freaking cool. Like I said, you got all that going on, the environment attacking you, players attacking you, and then like you added like the rook and stuff like that. Like it's such a crazy like way to explain everything, but when you're playing it, it's a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah, and like there's like we've been talking for a while, and there's a lot of stuff to cover about this game. Um, for for example, we were talking about the map. I was saying there's perimeter, which is the most simpler one, but then you'll go to the second map, which is Dire Marsh, which is a much more like open and wider space. It's more like you're in a swamp, a forest. So it's much more different with how the maps are separated, the loot, the activities are different because in that map you're close to an anomaly, right?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Where
those.
lore wise is like something that happened that is driving people crazy, and so because of that map, there's like this anomaly that you can sort of pick up, and you need to like contain it and then extract with it, and you can learn like the best loot through that, like that. Um,
And it has the
and
day and night
because
cycle right
then
in that
what?
one, doesn't it?
Well, if you extract the anomaly, it sort of gives you credits and loots. But yes, another thing that's particular to Dire Marsh is that it has technically two maps. There's like Dire Marsh Day, which is like I said, really more open. It's the sniping is really good on this game on this map. I would say, and all sorts of other activities also than the anomaly. There's like this lockdown feature that happens where you need a special antivirus thing that you inject yourself, go in and kill a couple of waves of the uh, bad NPCs, right, and get more loot and all that. So that's day, but at night it's totally different. Like you can't see anything. It's really really dark. You can have a flashlight, right? You can open it, but everybody will see that you have a flashlight, so you don't want to open your flashlight. But there's also all sorts of attachment accessories and chem flares, not chem flares, I mean just flares and different ways to add light and make diversions and stuff like that. Play a lot with the light system, which is really cool. Um, and like I said, since it's very different, also what you can do in that map is very different. For example, there's a particular boss which in there with a sort of vault and that you can raid and get like, again, loot. There are all sorts of radio towers and chests where you can open, but you'll need certifications. They're like keys if you want to open them, and you get them by killing bots. And that's how you need to extract also. You need to activate a machine with those certificates, right? So you need to get a couple of keys before you can extract. And they have their own kind of missions and events happening on that map. There's then the outpost map, which is more of a smaller, more contained map, which is a mix between outside and inside, but a lot of inside buildings. It's more PvP oriented, I would say. And personally, it's my favorite map with all the ways to go underground, on top, and all that. There's like various levels to this map. And if you stay outside too long, there's like a magma rain that comes in, so you have to go inside at some point. So, and it has, again, its own events with, you know, a drone that is being escorted that you need to break and get the loot inside. And, so there's also a key system. For example, there's like you can extract anytime with this one, but the key system in this is more like you have the loot and everything in this map, but there's like a middle section which can only be accessed if you have the right keys, which is two green ones to open it. And then so when this opens, it tells everyone that the middle part is open. So there's like 3-4 ways to access this, so everyone converges in the middle. It's pretty interesting and really fun. There's also more keys to unlock locked rooms that have more loot. Um, and so I really like the cycle, right? I keep saying loot, but it's really the cycle of going in with something and coming out with potentially better or the same thing or not at all. It's a gamble, but it's a gamble worth it, right? Like I've very rarely ended up with an empty vault. Like I don't think I've ever come to a moment where I was like, I have nothing, I can't play, right? I've always had something to play with. So it's not as hard as Tarkov. Let's say Tarkov is really hardcore. This has happened many times in Tarkov where I had nothing and I had to do a scavenger rock, a rook run, right? Where I had to play the character that doesn't progress anything just to get loot. But this has, like, I've never had the feeling I had to play those in marathon. It's not as hard as Tarkov. But now I've just said this, but I'm going to talk about the coolest map, but the hardest map of the whole game. And it only opens during weekend, where it's called the Cryo Archive, where it has 6 vaults of like really good items and items specific to that map that permits you in time to unlock the boss. Because there is a big boss in this map that is only in this map. The and You get that by doing the 6 vaults, right? So you and again it has a key system, but that is different from the other maps, where you get security keys and to like bring up this security level. And once you and there's like a bunch of rooms that are locked depending on which numbers. So let's say there are doors that are locked that are security level 2, others that are 3, etc., etc. So certain rooms you need a certain amount of security clearance, and you get that by killing bots, hacking systems. There's a lot of hacking stuff that is pretty cool also. And it's really hard because it's an all inside map. It's like the biggest map, but it's like a labyrinth. There's like so much like little places to go, air shaft to crawl through, and the more that goes on, the more that bots come in, right? And you need to have security level 3 to extract. So but this map has the best loot of all the game, gold, amazing stuff, right? So that's like the 4 maps. They all have again their own way of doing things. So, uh, for example, I talked about the vaults. Depending on the vault, some need batteries to activate them. Others you need the sort of cryo thing, so you get like an empty coolant and you need to go fill it somewhere, and then put it in the vault and the key and all that. So the and once inside, there's like switches to activate, or like there's like a puzzle to do, or so it has many steps while you're dealing with com- like computer enemies and players alike. So it's the hardest map, but it's the most worth it. And I was talking about the cycle. I like the idea of like accumulating loot from these other maps for when Cryo opens, and then I just go, wild hog, all hands on deck. I put in my best loot in to go do the Cryo Archive map, right? Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all the maps. Their differences, the shells, and like I said, there are more shells that we didn't talk about. But like, I won't do you a whole tutorial neither. So, but I think the most important part of why this game is so good is the gameplay. Like these are all parts that show the variation that you have, and that's even without talking about the experimental mode. Every half season they bring in a new mode to experiment with and see what people like or don't like, right? So for example, last season there was a sort of battle royale type mode where anything that you started out with, everybody starts off with the same kit and then progresses and can extract with better stuff, right? But this season they made a sort of PVE mode only in the Cryo Archive map, where so it's just you against all the bots, and you get to do the vaults and try out a couple of stuff. In this mode, the stuff you extract, you can't bring it back with you, but you bring back points that then you can buy stuff in the store with, right? So it prevents, you know, uh, loot creeping and having people having insane loot, right? So, um, but it's a really cool mode because it helps you practice for um, the real cryo archive and how to do vaults and all that. So these these also, you know, puts new life into the game. It updates regularly too, so there's a lot of good stuff. And yeah, I was saying the most important part of why it's good, it's really the gameplay. It's how it's designed, but it's also how the gunplay is just really good. I find it's the best they've done so far. It's not just a run and gun game. Like there's some strategy that helps, you know, putting mines in certain places or going around the building. And, you know, it's not just, oh, I'm going to run in and kill everything in my path. I mean, some do that. There's more risk, of course, but some rush in, and I guess it's a tactic like any other, but there's like all sorts of various play styles and ways to approach a situation, right? Um, and so the gunplay is really good and is really the most important part. It's not the character's powers. Like you won't take a character and be OP and, you know, wreck everyone with your powers, right? It really remains the gun the most important part, which is something that I think Rainbow Six Siege with time sort of forgot, which why for me it became bad. Where initially that was Rainbow Six Siege, where the weapons and your skill with them is what, you know, counted. Like the operators, they added extra skills and ways to tackle situations, but it really was, you know, your weapons that counted the most. And here you have that in Marathon, where the loot you have is what counts, not necessarily the shell that you select. And I think that's why it's so good, and you feel you can tackle really any situation. And the map are big enough so that you can do something else if you don't want to tackle someone, right? You can just rotate and go somewhere else. You can decide how to approach in various ways a situation. So that's my spiel. What is yours, Mindful?
No worries, buddy. No, that was really good. Like I said, I was actually getting excited there, reading some of the stuff that you were going over. I think like, yeah, so I guess some things like for me, like the common dude here, if you're hopping into this game, is don't underestimate the knife. I really didn't understand that concept apparently until like I said that
Oh yeah,
last
for sure.
to that last playthrough, right? Like I was shooting, you know, and JW's nice, right? He never really says too much. Like I accidentally throw a grenade, he's okay with it, you know, all that kind of shit. But anyways, one guy I was playing with, he's like, oh, you know, you gotta stop firing your gun for every little thing. And I was like, oh, like why? He's like, use the knife. He's like, it's so much better. I was like, but isn't it like hard? And he's like, no, it's pretty easy to use. Like it actually dealt like a lot of damage, which was kind of surprised me. But like his main comment was like, you know, if you always fire your gun, he's like, experts like me are gonna find you easily, which is true. That always fucking happened to me when I was playing it alone. I would always reach a point, you know, where the person would appear, the other player, and blast my ass, so to speak. But yeah, the knife is just is phenomenal. Like I'm really impressed with just how easy it is to get those kills on the robots. Even like just despite if they, let's say if they're like a generic enemy or if they're ones that have the shield or what have you, like I didn't really have too much of a trouble taking out most things with that knife. So very underrated, definitely something you want to utilize more. One thing that, you know, I didn't realize either was that ammo isn't as easy to come across. So again, right, another benefit to using the knife, you're saving your ammo for the main events, right, where you need to use it, such as another player. um
Honestly, most of my kills have probably been knives, where I shoot or whatever, then I run out, but instead of like reloading, I just rush in with my knife and, you know, kill the person.
Yeah. Like I said, just didn't realize how powerful that was until I started using it.
Also, something to consider with the knife is that you have a button for a heavy hit and you have a button for a light hit. So what you want to
Oh,
do the combo is, yeah, what you want to do the combo is one heavy hit and then two light hits. That is the fastest way to get the most damage out of the knife.
that's dope. Okay, wow. Yeah, didn't know that either. And like I was saying, like sorry, JW, I think it was the consumables that you use, right? That they benefit everyone.
If you're the medic.
If you're the medic, yeah. So like again, right? Like sorry, yeah, I didn't record this part earlier, but we were just talking about like how with certain classes there, or the medic in general, there's a little bit of benefits to using it, right? So it was cool. I didn't realize that every time I was using consumables, my allies, right, got that benefit as well.
Yeah, that's the passive for triage, which is the like medic shell, where what he's talking about is, yeah, if you use um, signal jammer, which which makes it so you're not detected in detectable situations, so like the recon alt or the anything that pings, right? So the signal jammer blocks that. If the triage uses, let's say, a signal jammer, everyone's going to have the signal jammer effect, right? So it's like that for every consumable, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. The other one I was gonna say until you started talking about it there was I didn't really, I guess, fully understand what the Rook was about. I just thought it was like a cool like little feature to fuck over players, or add another challenge. But I didn't realize, yeah, there are moments where you're just losing lots and you have like the shittiest loot. I never thought of going that option, just to help help my what do you call it, guns and stuff like that, like going halfway through the map as the Rook. Just
Yeah,
to
it's a good way to practice because
yeah.
going in as a rook, you go in solo in lobbies of like teams that are three. So it's a good way to. That's why they're more like scavengers. They usually don't want to fight a team of three. They want to come in the aftermath and scavenge, take what's left.
Yeah.
That's what they're used for. But it's also a good way to practice your PvP by taking on these teams of three, right? Like I've been doing that where it has helped. It's much easier than it seems. Like it seems daunting at first, but when you start, downing a couple of them, you're like, oh, it's actually easier than you think. You just need better, positioning or stuff like that, right? But yeah, I in all honesty though, I find the Rook is not that useful because you have the free kits that are given to you, so you can just do the same with shells. But you probably get more money as a Rook, honestly. But you
Yeah.
get more progression as any other shell, right? Um, it's like the staple of extraction shooters, where you usually have a sort of a scavenger class, right, that you can use.
And then yeah, like JW we were talking about earlier there, like I recommend, play with either a trio of some sort. Even just random players like when I wasn't playing with JW and the other people from the Discord community, a few of the random matches I had, it was all like, good people to play with. Like there was never any like issues or stuff like that. Some people, there was no audio chat. Some people I did chat with through audio. But yeah, all the times I played, everyone was very helpful. There was never any like, I don't know. No COD players, I'll put it that way. that just made it difficult. So even though the game is challenging and difficult, the community behind the game I think is really good. There are a few
Oh
things.
yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with this. Like I've never had someone be an asshole or
Yeah,
whatever. Like I've had randoms where they've just went off and do their own thing. They didn't want to follow us or whatever. Sure, but like I've never had like toxic players or people screaming at you or I don't know what. Right? Everybody's like helpful, wants to have a good time, and they get killed and they're like, gosh darn it, but
yeah,
nothing. Not like, oh, it's your fault, you should have been like none of that. It's like, oh well, better luck next time. So yeah, I love the
yeah.
community. There's if you're looking for a more a more I don't know what to call it, a more a game where you can, have your own team and not go in with randoms. There are all sorts of, LFG's community where you can go into the Discord or whatever and team up with someone also, right? But randoms, like I would say, the community is great, but it's not. You don't always get um, good or agreeable people. Like I said, sometimes they don't talk and they're doing their own thing, and you sort of get separated, and that's not good team synergy, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have good team synergy, but it's never toxic or it's never terrible. Like nobody's. I've never had someone left me to die, right? Unless we were separated or something, right? So
Yeah, that's true. They always come
um,
back for you. Like that's the nice part in that game. And even like death, right? You get downed, you can still be brought back again into the game. I was surprised by that one.
oh yeah.
I thought when I was like wiped out, I was like, okay, I guess I should just leave. But at one time I stuck around, and I was like, oh shit, they can actually bring you back again. I didn't realize that.
Oh my god, you just kept leaving.
Oh yeah, I thought, okay, well I'm fucked. So that's the end of that.
No, 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 no. Don't leave. You can get revived anytime as long as you still have a teammate. And there are self-revive packs that you can find also sometimes there. So if you're down, you can revive yourself. But even if you get killed after you're down, your teammate can still revive you. It's just going to take longer, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was cool. I like that feature. Um, Yeah, yeah, because as I was saying, yeah, I played a lot of high levels too. And yeah, when we would lose, they would just be so chill about it. They're like, yeah, well, that sucks. Let's go ahead and play again. We'll reloot. um,
Yeah, because no matter how bad it gets, it's still fun to run around and, have some action, get some stuff, find some interesting thing that is on the table or whatever, right?
yeah. My only thing I don't like is those green beams, so fucking jumping over that shit and ducking under them.
There are green lasers that Mindful always walks on when I say don't
Oh,
walk into the beams. And they start a security alarm. You get locked down in the room, and there are bots that come in.
yeah, no, it's brutal. The
Um,
worst is like when you have someone attacking you and you kind of forget that they were behind you, so you're like, you're trying to dodge or whatever, and then you trip over one.
oh,
It's
for
like, oh, for
sure.
fuck's sakes, like.
And then the turrets blast you, or you walk into a poison plant or something, and
Yeah. Or even yeah,
yeah.
there's even those special rooms too, right, where there's that poison, and I can't remember. You need something. Was it a healing item of some
Oh
sort? You
yeah, you
need.
need a card, a toxic clear card, where you hack a laptop with it, and it clears the room for a couple of seconds. So you need to loot everything and get out
Yeah, see, that's what I love about
before
like
the
this
toxic
game. Like
comes
I said,
back.
like you said earlier, like every map has like something kind of like unique or cool to it. Like Zeno Dire Marsh has a lot of those poison plants. I'm not sure if other ones do or not, but yeah, it's really cool just
Oh
how
yeah,
the
yeah.
environment.
Poison plants is in all the maps really, but it's really the activities and events. They all have their own thing. For example, Outpost is the only map where there's like magma rain that comes in, and you have to run
Yeah.
inside so you don't get caught in it, right?
Yeah, that was a cool environmental change. I didn't know what the guy was talking about first, and then like it actually started to rain. I was like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah, and I at some point I pushed someone into the rain, an enemy. I had the vandal, so I used the cannon and it blasted him across like the place, and he had to run in the rain, but he didn't have any shield, so he didn't last long before he died, and I shot him to make sure
That's
that
awesome.
yeah.
And then is it okay?
Or
I always forget what it looks like. Is it a giant ship that like fires that cannon? I know there's like a few maps right where you're in the open there, and there's like literally like a homing missile from these cannons that like hit you.
oh yeah, the rocket drone. Yeah, no, there's like these giant tower robots that fly across the map, and when they detect there's someone in the vicinity, they just spam rockets. They just throw constant rockets. And of course, you can destroy those. It takes a lot of ammo, but you can destroy those, and they have pretty good loot also. But those
Wow.
are in, I think, both Dire Marsh and Perimeter only because they're like open zone, like on the planet. Like
Yeah.
Outpost is like more of a, it's part of a ship, and Cryo Archive is in the Marathon ship, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so that's why it's in only those maps.
Yeah, but those are cool. I didn't know you could kill them. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've done this. I've done it multiple times, and there's a really good loot in it. Of course, the best thing is to find a spot where you can hide, shoot, hide, shoot, hide, shoot, because it really takes a long time, and you hope that a player doesn't come for you.
Oh yeah, yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, like no exaggeration. Like literally, these things when the missiles hit you, it almost pretty much kills you instantly if you're not able to, like JW says, find coverage or
It
something.
takes a couple of missiles, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like maybe
pretty.
two or
You
three.
won't get killed.
They
Yeah.
do a hefty amount of damage. Yeah, those things were cool. I do like that they have like different bots and stuff like that too, so it's not the same things you're fighting over and over again.
Oh yeah. There's like the grenadier that throw grenades. There's the ghosts where they go invisible,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's another thing that Bungie has always been really good at is the AI. Like the bots, they flank you, they move around,
yeah.
they talk to each other, um they act like players, like they really do. Um, so the bots are not to be underestimated because they can do pretty. They can fuck you up real good, especially if there's a lot of them.
Yeah, no, the AI was amazing for the bots. Yeah. So, Mr. Neo, what do you think? You're a little more interested in the game?
A little bit, yeah. Sounds kind of boring, but I don't know. I might change my mind when I play it. When I actually play it.
It is. It is a game
So
you
do you
have to
have any
play.
questions?
Um, no. I have one question about the knife. So,
Yeah.
is it what did you say you had to do again with the knife? Is it you have to stick
Oh,
behind
it's
enemies? Is it like
heavy.
is it like an insta kill when I stab the enemy behind their
No,
back,
it's
or is
not.
it okay?
It's not. No, it really depends if you have a shield, right, and which
Okay,
grade of shield do you have, right? But usually, if you do one heavy, two light, so heavy, light, light, it
okay.
pretty much, either kills or almost kills the target depending on the shield, right?
Oh, so
Usually,
it's not
you
like
want
a
to break the shield before and then do that, right?
okay. All right.
But I do find
But
that the bots
yeah, no.
struggle when you run up to them with the knife. Like that's like I don't know
Oh
if they're
yeah,
just
the bots is like a one or two hits. Those are different. It was for the
yeah.
players I was talking about. Like you do a heavy and the mostly die. Of course, it depends which one. Some are more powerful and have shields, right? So, but the normal bots, let's say it's a one heavy hit or two, and they're dead.
And that's too like
Because
I'm
that's the other thing we didn't talk about actually. Because there's a section called the cradle where you can convert items into the items you accumulated that you don't want into sort of cradle XP if you want. And through the cradle, you can add skills points basically. So you can do that your strength hits more, so your melee damage hits more, and or you can have better cooldowns, or even your agility is better. So which means you jump better, you do more distance, you can reach places that normally you wouldn't be able to, and within those cradle bars, um, there are some passive that you can get. For example, there's one with the strength where your melee and knife attacks generate less heat, so less stamina, right?
Mm,
Or when you start a match, let's say, for you start each run with a portion of your cooldown down already, or there's one where there are sort of equipments that you can use in the map that does area of effect pings for that zone for like a couple of seconds. Well, you can have a boost to that and have the area of effect increase, right? So there's a bunch of extra passive stats like that that you can get, or better agility, like I said, or better shorter time to heal yourself and stuff like that. Fall resistance, so you can jump down and not kill yourself or not hurt yourself. Uh, I guess you'll have to beep a lot, mindful. I keep saying kill yourself.
No, it's all good, buddy. One thing I was gonna say is kind of like a little underrated, I find, for that game. But it is like a cool feature. I'm not as good as JW with it, but I'm slowly getting more used to it. Is just the different sounds, like someone's footsteps, someone opening the door.
Yes.
If it's a bot, like I kept like shouting them up before. I was like, I don't know how you hear all this stuff. Like now that I'm playing them more, I'm like, okay, I could kind of tell the difference between a different whatever doors or footsteps or bots or whatever make for their sounds. But yeah, it's interesting that like that's actually like a skill you're gonna have to improve upon when playing that game.
Well, you don't have to improve it in game.
No, but
you
yourself.
learning the sounds, right? But yeah, no, that's again a staple for the extraction games in general, where sound is really important because you don't want to lose your stuff. So if you hear the different sounds, you hear, oh, someone is running instead of a bot is running. It's like two very distinct sounds. It's true. The sound design, like in this game, is really really good. Music also, it's like a mix between something that is techno but horrific also, like it's sort of not grim, but there's like a darkness to it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, it almost
um
feels like a horror game at some points.
yeah, and yeah, no, the sounds is really important. Like even in Tarkov, it was very important, and you could get headphones that make it more distinct. You could hear even better than other people, let's say, that didn't have headphones on their character. So the sound is really important. Now, the headphone thing is not in Marathon. Everybody can hear the same sounds. That it's just Tarkov thing. That for me, that was the first time I understood that sound in those games were very important. Is when I realized the difference of sounds when I equipped the headphone on my character, right? So
No, that's yeah. I'll have to.
yes, so it's a good tip actually. Listen to the sounds, and with like you don't need to like look up a video and know each different sound, right? It's just you'll learn it as you play. Right?
Yeah, as you're playing, it becomes more
That
important.
makes sense.
No, but sometimes people are like, oh, like we're talking about all this, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh fuck, I'm going to have to watch so many videos to show me how to play. But no, a lot of that you'll just learn it too, on your own. Okay, next time I won't go through that door because there are mines, there are C4s, for example. Map knowledge, let's say, or stuff like that. Like there, a lot of it is it's mostly try and see what happens, right?
Yeah, like I say, like for me at least, and Jimmy was saying the same thing too. It feels very overwhelming when you're like being explained the whole game, but as you're playing it, it starts to click and make sense. And then as I said, having a good teammate obviously helps a lot too, right? Because they can walk you through a lot of things that you might not have realized that you're either doing wrong or etc. But yeah, no, it's I
Yeah, maybe you can. I don't know if you could film parts of your gameplay or whatever and put it in the um, podcast because yeah, no, there's a lot to explain and it's sort of hard to explain it like this without having a visual aid, right?
yeah, of course, no, I'll add some in for sure. But that's
Well,
basically.
if the Chromebook permits it.
Yeah. Well, the last one was like the normal issue. It was halfway through the podcast. I noticed the audio cut out, so they had to, mix two of them together to get the audio perfect. And yeah, it was a big pain in the butt. But yeah, it always works out one way.
Otherwise, I can record mine if you prefer, but I think it's going to be hard to share it after that. So
Yeah, no
probably better if
worries.
you record it yourself.
but yeah, as I said last time, right? And I'm much more confident saying it this time around. Marathon is definitely worth a purchase. Even if you're hesitant, then wait for a sale. It's too bad that they didn't that the free weekend passed. Hopefully they do another one maybe, or they just have a really good sale coming up. Because yeah, I definitely recommend buying the game. I think not getting too much into it this time around, but like we said last time, there's a lot of Destiny 2 bullshit that's been tied into this game. Like the guy I was playing with told me, there's some people that are just purposely trying to sabotage the game by jumping into it and then exiting a match as a trio to ruin that gameplay
Wow.
experience. Yeah, so there's always gonna be bullshit like that, but just play it. Just keep trying.
Bunch of assholes.
Like I said, I'm not the kind of dynamic that they were going for. I'm not the clientele that they were choosing for this game, but even I'm enjoying it. It's challenging, but it's good, right? It's a lot of fun. But like
Yeah, in
JW
terms
said,
of difficulty, it's like it's more. I think it's more hardcore than Arc Raiders, but it's
yeah,
much, much, much easier and more approachable than Tarkov, let's say. So it's a good in between, you know.
yeah. As I said, I think you'd have a lot of fun with it. Whoever decides to pick it up. Yeah, if you're hesitant, then just wait for a sale. Easy as that. Um,
Yeah,
the
and it's $40. It's worth all of those, all of that money. It's
It's worth
rare
your
that
hard-earned money. Yeah,
yeah,
fuck the
it's
bills, fuck your food, buy
yeah,
this game.
exactly. All you need is electricity and
and marathon.
marathon. That's all. And but yeah, no, more in the sense like I usually I'm more of a single player game type of guy in general, right? But like marathon, I've put like over I think 300 hours in it. No, 200 hours in 92, so close to 300 hours. Like I don't usually put so much time into multiplayer games, and I'm having a blast. Even going in solo, I really really enjoy it. Um, it was the biggest surprise of this year for me because it's probably the game I've played the most and have had the most fun. Initially, I thought it was mid. I when I first tried it and just before it released, I thought it was mid. But then my friend, kept telling me, no, no, just get it. It's different from the testing of before the release. They've made all sorts of changes. It's really good, and I agree. I'm glad that he forced me to buy it because I ended up loving it, and there's more to come for season 3 that they've announced, and I think it's going to be a really really fun time. I don't know. I have no idea what they're planning. Because I think they're supposed to add new characters, new shells every season. So I really wonder what they're going to do with season 3 for that. So I can't wait.
I know like online games get like a lot of hate too, right? Because you do get a lot of live action games and all that kind of jazz, right? But like you said, like there is a way to do them right, and I think Marathon found its path, right? Like I mean, the fact that I said I
Oh
praised it
yeah.
earlier, right? But the fact that you can make a good story and lore and all that in an online game is really impressive. Like it is quite the feat to have.
Oh yeah, and it has a reward pass, a battle pass, but it's so not intrusive that a lot of people I've played with, they didn't even know there was one.
Yeah.
Like I had to show them where it was, and they were like, "Oh, so I can get skin like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that's how I got mine." So
No, that's true.
there's also other ways that are not reward pass based. There are what's called the codex where it has like a bunch of challenges you can do to earn some stuff. For example, if you extract with triage with the sponsor kit of, let's say, I don't know, new caloric, you get a pink skin with triage, for example, because those are the colors of the faction. Or sometimes there's like use there's like a challenge to do where it says like use your slide, then cannon your someone, and then shotgun them to earn whatever profile thing, you know. So there's like if you do all the challenges for a shell for a character, you get a new skin, for example. So there are multiple customization items to earn and or to buy if you want, but it's really non-intrusive. Like it's pretty hidden. That's probably the only downside with this game. The menus are a bit
Yeah.
are really not. They're really unintuitive. Like you keep searching for how to get to stuff. Like they're ultra stylized and cool, but like the menus are a bit atrocious. But beside that, that's the only negative I would say about this game.
Yeah. So, like I said, definitely worth a playthrough. Definitely worth a try. If you didn't get to play the free weekend, then just hopefully you can catch it on a sale price. Um,
Yeah,
so
if it goes like $40 is a good price for it, but if it goes under that on sale, like it's a steal.
yeah, exactly. You're getting your money's worth at that point for sure, even at the full price. Um, but yeah, I was gonna say before we go to the recap, or sorry, the promotion part. I wanted to just shout out Neo because he had a really good idea for the next podcast episode. Depends how much he wants to break it into, right? But from what I understand, we're gonna do a couple of them, but it's gonna be focused on Batman. So we're gonna be focusing on Batman's games the first time around. So a little bit of the other ones, but the main focus that Neo wants to stick with is the Arkham series and just like how that pretty much changed gaming in a way as far as future games came out. I think it's a really good choice. I think Batman in general has just done a lot for entertainment as far as changing the game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Is that kind of where the direction you were going, Neil? Am I hitting the nail on the head?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So Mr. Neo, you could have the floor, buddy. What do people have to look forward to in your streams coming
I
up?
might stream later. I don't know. I was thinking about it.
Oh yeah.
I always say that, and it never happens, but I might. The game it's definitely gonna be Arkham City. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah, because you said the Riddler trophies you're still doing.
No, I'm saying I'm definitely gonna play the game 100%. That's the
Oh.
game I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna play something else. No. It's gonna be the game. I might stream Mortal Kombat, just the crypts, just walk around the crypts and see what I missed. But I don't know. I think that's kind of boring. So I'm gonna play Arkham City definitely for the podcast. For the first part, I'm gonna talk about the games and the comic books, and then part 2 is gonna be the movies. Right.
Yeah, I'm excited. Listen, there's so much to
Yeah.
talk about when it
I
comes
thought
to
today
Batman.
was the podcast for Batman, but I fucking forgot. It's next week.
Oh yeah, sorry, buddy.
No, it's fine.
Oh, and then Wednesday for community night, you want to do Halo, right? You and me going through it.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll do a Halo run.
Multiplayer, maybe campaign. Yeah, a little bit of campaign, multiplayer. Yeah.
No worries, buddy. We'll rock
Hopefully
that.
the game doesn't crash.
Yeah, that's true, eh?
Yeah.
And then, sorry, were you gonna do any more YouTube videos, or are you taking a break from that right now?
Yeah. So when I finish streaming Arkham City, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. It's gonna be the whole thing.
Nice.
And then if I have there's certain clips that I want to use, then I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna find some. If there's anything I want to use as a clip, I'm gonna go back to the stream. If I find something that's funny or just interesting, then I'm gonna use that as a clip or two, and I'm gonna upload that on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like
And
a
also
few
my
Easter
Twitch.
eggs that people probably don't know about and stuff like that, right?
I mean, some people do know. Yeah, I mean, like the one with the calendar man. That he, if you change your Xbox to a certain date, he kind of references Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah.
Foreshadows Arkham Knight. Yeah. I like that a lot. I mean, he's a good villain, Calendar Man. Like, yeah, I need to keep reading that Arkham Living Hell comic book because it's a really good comic to read. Because it tells you the origins of what's his face, the guy who ran the asylum originally. I forgot his name, something. I can't remember his name.
Oh, okay. So it's all focused on Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's neat.
I'm trying to remember his name. Oh my god. Atticus? I can't remember. I don't think. I think maybe Quincy Sharp's in it. Yeah, I think he is at the end. Because I know in the game he kind of, because he's a schizophrenic, which is weird. Because why would you have a schizophrenic as your as the guy to run the asylum?
Cause it's God.
And he starts going fucking. Yeah, he starts going fucking crazy. He thinks he's fucking He thinks he's Arkham, that guy that used to run the place originally. Because you could find little totems with like a little beetle on it, which I forgot what it was called originally. I don't know why. I played the game for God knows how long.
Yeah, no, I said that's gonna be a fun one to go over. I'm excited, and it's a really good idea too to upload a full gameplay of you beating it, because that'd be neat to watch.
Hopefully, yeah. I might do like a part 2. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I can't remember. I can't remember.
No worries, buddy. Alright, so we got a stream from you and a possible big YouTube video. And then what about Mr. JW?
For me, I will be streaming at some point later. I don't have anything to particular to shout out. I don't have anything particular to shout out right now. I just know I'll be streaming again. It might be marathon. It might be demos that I've been mentioning for a while that I haven't done yet. It might be Marvel Rivals. It might be something else. But I'm planning to stream again, and for sure, if there's like another thing I want to explore, let's say the writing for whatever movie, book, game, or whatever. We did Ghost of Tsushima last time. The first part of the Ghost of Tsushima has been edited and posted on YouTube and Substack, where we look at the intro and why the intro is such a good hook, why it's so good, and what information it gives to the player that is important and that you sort of informs the rest of the story, right? So that first part is out. There are more parts to the Ghost of Tsushima writing that is coming up that I'm currently editing. And you can, like I said, see all this on YouTube, or you can go on my Substack where I have extra tidbits about my personal views and my history with the game, and just extra information that I've written with that video that is not on the YouTube version. And you can see all this through my website jwfoster.ca, or go on Substack or YouTube. And otherwise, I keep saying I'm searching for publishers for my book that I finished. All the truth being, I haven't sent it yet. I've been working on doing, the letter, the synopsis, a bunch of stuff that comes with publishing this thing. And so once that's done, I'm going to kick myself in the ass and get to it, find a publisher, because I've been occupied with other things, and I'm continue to write more stories and book that will be coming up. So I'm not just sitting on my ass, don't worry. That's it.
No, like I was saying too, your last video there, the Ghost of Tsushima part 1, was really good. I said I loved your editing for it, because I watched a few of the lives, right? So I kind of knew where you were, cutting and pasting things. And yeah, it flowed really smooth. I think you did a really good job on that video.
Nice, thanks. We're going to see a bit more of the weaknesses actually of the game on the next part, but yeah, there's still a lot of the writing that we're going to go through, and I can't wait to finish those, because there's a lot. I'm planning probably I want to try to do this in 3 parts, but there might be more like 4 or 5, but I'm trying to do it in 3 parts. So first one is all about the intro, and the other ones will be about the middle, and of course the last one being about the end and how it hits. So that's that.
No, I'm excited to hear that, buddy. Yeah, so Wednesday community night's gonna be with Hunted, like I just said. We're gonna do our little Halo journey. Possibly during the last hour of that stream, if Jimmy is still down for it. I know he wanted to do like basically the last hour of every community night, because if you guys don't know, Jimmy's schedule is always all over the board, and he can game for like random times of the day. So he's gonna try his best for Wednesday nights. But anyway, yeah, we might do like a quick little hour thing together. He's still figuring that part out. Then I got possibly every couple of weeks, if Frantic Frog, aka Kill Switch, is still up for it. He wanted to do Elder Scrolls Online Adventures. So we're done with his wrestling stuff now. He got a whole event done. I did the rematch with Sheila. Sheila, you lost. Haha. um,
You a bitch. Kidding.
so now that that's done with, I told him, like, what else do you want to do? Like, do you still want to do wrestling? Do you want to do something else? So we came up with the idea of kind of doing like Dungeons and Dragons, like role play, but with the Elder Scrolls Online characters. So just stupid commentary as we're going through our adventure. So yeah, look forward to that one with him. Talk to your mom, the streamer, not the joke. And she is still down for September, I think it was, or maybe it was the beginning of October. We're gonna do it. We want to do a horror-themed community events. So it started off as I think she was gonna do Minecraft, but I think she's now expanding beyond Minecraft. She might want to do a few different games for community night that would be horror-themed, and we'd have a little bit of like emo prizes from the wonderful Z Chick as always, and just goofy stuff like that for you guys, so you can enjoy some fun during Halloween. And then we're just at least I am. I'm slowly getting ready for the hype up and the shout outs that come with the award show at the end of the year. So yeah, I'll slowly start to bang the drums on that voting process. And then for myself, like I said, just during October, I'll do the full month again of just scary games, and hopefully beat more than just Resident Evil 4 this time. But yeah,
If you guys play Marathon Wednesday, I'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know what Jimmy wants to do for the last hour. He just has an idea. But yeah, that's pretty much it, folks. So I guess we will see these wonderful gentlemen during the next episode, where we talk about Batman and why he's so fucking awesome in video gaming and comics. And yeah, see you guys then.
All right.
Next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. And as always, Mindful will do his famous, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, thank you for giving the thumbs up, all that good stuff. What the boys don't know is that, let's see, we just finished uploading Spider-Man, so that means I'm at episode 96, so guaranteed 2 more episodes with Hunting, so episode 97, 98, which leaves 2 more. So that might be episode. That might be the brand new day episode. Sorry, which would be 98, and then let's say Hood's Black Flag review would be episode 99. So technically, we got everything set up where the 5th episode should be our 100th episode. Celebration. I know I said the word episode a lot there, sorry. It threw me off too. But anyway, yeah, so with that one, we're going to be going over all our hot takes. So really excited for that one. Basically, it's just going to be... I was debating if I should just go live with it. I probably still won't go live. It'll probably still be premiere so that the audio issues aren't a factor. But this one will not be anything in particular. It's just literally whoever wants to hop on there. We're all just going to start spewing out hot takes, giving out those trash opinions, like whatever we want. And then, as a group, right, we can all like either make fun of each other for those takes, right, or have a debate about them, whatever the case is. It's just going to be a slobber knocker of a good time. There's no other way I can describe that. And yeah, I was really looking forward to this one because I think it's a funny way to celebrate episode 100, is just having the community, just fucking spewing out garbage for a good hour or two, and just having some good laughs with one another. So hopefully I can hype up enough good people. I would love to have 2099 on, just saying. Obviously, JW would be great. Hunting would be awesome in that one. Same with Hood. He'd be a fantastic person. Your mom would be great for that one. Yeah, just people I know that would, definitely have a little piss of vinegar in them and fire out some hot takes and have some really good debates and just, call each other out on their bullshit. I think it's going to be a really good one. But yeah, hope you guys have yourself a beautiful day. This episode was a little bit longer, but that's okay because I think the editing won't be too difficult for it. There's some parts like JW said, I want to have good good visuals to go with what he was referring to. But yeah, all around should be a good one. If you haven't yet, check out the Spider-Man podcast episode. That was my favorite one I've done so far. Definitely loved going over it. Look forward to Brand New Day when I finally end up watching that movie. Yeah, and you guys have yourself a beautiful night. Bye. Happy Sunday.